I'm Chip Souza here at the Northwest Arkansas Media Day with Gentry coach Justin Bigham. Coach, thanks for being on the set with us today.
Thank you for having us.
So you guys have got almost your whole team back from last year. So kind of give me a little season preview of how you think you guys will be in 2021.
Yes, sir. We're pretty fortunate. We only graduated 4 seniors. And so in our last game against Monticello, we had 18 kids out because of COVID. So we're excited to have all those kids back. Really looking forward to it. Had a good offseason. We averaged about 75% throughout the whole year of attendance over the summer. So been working hard and looking forward to it.
Give me some of the players, Coach, that you're going to be counting on this season to deliver for you.
Garrison Jackson's our big tight end. He's 6'4", 250. He's got offers from OBU, NSU, Harding, quite a few places, and he's going to be big for us in the run game, but he's a big target too in the pass game. So, and he's on defense as well. We have a really good offensive line. Our center last year, Lucas Gwynn, has moved to guard for us, and he's good for us. And we got quite a few seniors. We got about 14 seniors, so a little bit different from last year.
So having that experience, having gone through the 4A1, feel like that'll be a big advantage for you guys. There won't be any surprises.
I think so. There's still going to be some surprises. But last year we had to start 13 sophomores.
Wow.
And that was out of necessity. And so those are reps that you can't really simulate in practice, and you can't usually get sophomores that kind of practice. And so just having that kind of game rep is going to be huge for them.
Looking in the 4A1, you got a defending state champion up there in Shiloh Christian. You got always good Prairie Grove team, but do you feel like guys like you can play with those guys?
Yeah, we take it one day at a time. We try not to look too far ahead and just try to get better today and let the rest take care of itself. But we feel like we should be much improved from last year, being the second year in the system, second year in the offense, a few changes on defense, and a lot of kids returning. And we got pretty good buy-in. It takes a little bit of time after that first year just for the kids to understand you and you to know the kids. But we have a good relationship, and they're working hard.
Coach, thanks for being on the set with us again. This is Gentry coach Justin Bigham. Coach, good luck this season.
Thank you.
You bet. So I'm here with Lincoln coach Reed Mendoza. Coach, 7-5 last season. What's in store for you guys in 2021?
This year we'll have a lot of new faces out there. We're going to have to learn on the fly, but I think we'll definitely be the type of team that looks a lot different in the conference run than we do week 0.
Coach, you guys in the 3A1. Not an easy game at all in the schedule in 3A1, but how do you see the conference as a whole?
I think definitely the team to look out for this year is going to be Charleston. They were sophomore heavy last year, so they bring back a lot of starters, and then they also move up a good junior high class. Cedarville and Greenland will be very tough as well. Hackett, kind of the unknown for us. That's the one conference game we weren't able to play last year. Mansfield has size, kind of like you said. Down the board, there's not a week off, and Lavaca is another one that will be improved. They were young last year as well, so we're going to have to show to play every week.
Coach, who will be some of the players that we need to watch for Lincoln this year?
This year, we'll have Kyler Calvin be a big play guy for us this year. You'll see him a little bit at quarterback probably, and if not at quarterback, at one of the wide receiver positions. Rafael Pena is another guy, 3-year starter. Dynamite comes in small packages.
There you go.
Definition of that.
Yeah.
He's all over the place on both sides of the football. Dakota Christensen will be another 3-year starter for us. Senior, he'll be on the interior line on both sides of the football. Just a smart kid with a motor, got good strength. And then Blake and Brody Bowen will anchor us at linebacker. And those are 2 kids that are great leaders, outspoken, and just do the right thing all the time for us.
Good deal. Coach, listen, good luck to you guys. Good luck to the Wolf Pack, the Howling Wolf Pack over at Lincoln, and good luck in the 3A1 and in this coming season.
Appreciate it.
You
Appreciate
bet.
you having me.
Yep. I'm here talking with Rogers head coach Chad Harbison, NWA Media Day. Coach, how's it going for the Mounties so far?
Doing really well. Had a good summer, getting good in fall camp.
Coach, how nice was it for you to be able to spend a little time in the spring, the summer, maybe some 7-on-7 team camps?
It felt normal, from last year. We came in with all the directives and things that we had to do last year. I mean, everybody's in the same boat, and we learned a lot about what we can do when we're not there.
Yeah.
Which in turn will help us down the road as well. But just having to spend the time to get to know your team better, get the reps that we got in 7-on-7. They get the reps we got in team camp, and you just can't replace all that. But at the the same time, last year we came together in June and had one of the best years we had in a while.
Exactly, Coach. You guys were 6-3 last year. You were the offensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
Has that helped make the transition to head coach a little bit more smooth, having familiarity with the players?
Oh, yeah. Being there and being really involved in the offseason the last couple of years, and this, knowing our kids and our staff and kind of understanding the landscape of our program from the middle school feeder programs to our junior high, it's really made a big difference.
Coach, who are some of the players for Rogers that you're going to be counting on this year?
Well, I just brought 6 of them in the door right there that are all returning starters for us. We're going to have to move Noah Goodshield over to quarterback. He played outside receiver for us last year, had an outstanding season. We got Cade Selden-Rich back, one of our leading receivers from last year, and then Joel Garner also played tight end, and we flex him out quite a bit. We got Brady Porter at defensive end, started all the games last year, and Marion Slater at linebacker, and then Damon Vogt played safety and outside backer for us last year.
Good deal. Coach, you mentioned Goodshield. You mentioned Selden-Ridge. Seems like there's 50 Selden-Ridges who've played at Rogers. Been a lot of them. But those are 2 kids who are very big, big-time key contributors for a state champion baseball team.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Bringing that winning culture of winning a state championship in baseball into football, how does that benefit your program?
Yeah, they show up and there's instant leadership with them. They know how to carry themselves. They know how to handle the situation. They it makes a difference with everybody else in the room when they walk in the room. It was nice to have them back.
Talk about the 7A West a little bit, Coach. It's an easy conference. There's an easy game every Friday night.
Sure is.
How do you look in? I mean, how's the conference look to you as a whole?
Like it's looked for the last several years. I mean, you got Bentonville and Harbor and Fayetteville and West have kind of been the top teams in there right now. So, yeah, Southside being in it last year, we didn't get to play them, so that'll be new for us. Those 4 teams are always the ones that seem to be at the top at the end of the year, and then Springdale's got a coaching change, and then I saw Heritage at team camp this summer.
Yep.
They're a lot better. I mean, it's going to be tough.
Good
really
deal.
is.
Well, Coach, listen, thanks for being on with us today,
Yeah.
and good luck to the Mounties this
All right.
season.
Thank you.
So I'm here with Bray Cook, the new, how's this sound? New head football coach at Pea Ridge. How does that sound?
That sounds phenomenal.
Yeah.
It sounds great. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So Bray got to be one of the youngest, head coaches in Class 5A. How does it feel? It feels like just a couple of days ago you were playing, against Springdale for Harbor.
Yes, it does. It is pretty wild. When I took this job, I was 28. Now that was about 3 months ago. I'm 56 today.
There you go.
So it's been a wild couple months, but I've really enjoyed it. I really love it. The kids are incredible. I believe they're excited, and we're ready to get rolling this fall.
Bray, you've moved up the coaching ranks pretty quickly, but you were at Pea Ridge last year as an assistant.
Mm-hmm.
Has that helped with the transition, knowing the kids?
Absolutely. Last year, I was able to work for Tony Travis, our AD, and Jeff Williams, the head coach there, who's obviously had
2
so
good
much.
mentors.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So I was very fortunate to sit behind some real great leaders in the state and learn a lot last year.
So Blackhawks are going to be in their second year in the 5A West. Last year, COVID, knocked you guys out of a few games. I think you maybe went about a 3-week period, maybe without playing a game. You have to be, having had a spring with the guys and a summer with the guys and that kind of thing. You have to feel at least some sense of normalcy.
Yeah, absolutely we do. We're still, attacking the COVID protocols. Last year, we're not going to let that happen again. Just making sure that we're ahead of things as far as how we're handling our practices and workouts. And we're obviously being smart about doing that so that we don't have that pop up again this year.
Bray, who are some of the kids that we can count on seeing, having good seasons for Pea Ridge this year?
Yeah, we brought our left tackle today, Clay Seabury.
He did, just because he's an offensive lineman.
Yep.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Taking care of your guys.
Yes,
There you go.
Yes. Well, he started for us last year at right tackle, and so he'll be a second-year guy, and we moved him over to left. He's going to be a guy we can count on. Justin Blunt, I'll go to our defensive line.
Yeah.
He's a senior, also a father. He's a guy who the kids look up to, and he's a really physical kid down there, very smart player.
Good.
Our receiving core is going to be stacked this year. We're very excited about Will Anderson and Trevor Blair, 2 guys who are phenomenal receivers, and we'll be able to air the ball out with them a little bit. And a young quarterback this year in Gavin Dixon. We're very excited about him, very talented kid. We're excited to watch him come out and play.
Bray, taking that step up from 4A to 5A is always a big adjustment. Do you feel like you guys are on track Are the kids still kind of drinking out of a fire hose? How's that going?
Absolutely. Last year obviously it was tough with jumping into the 5A and COVID and a new head coach.
Right.
Kind of a perfect storm. We're able to get that first conference win against Alma, and we're able to kind of ride that wave into this season and keep it rolling.
What are you doing to kind of put your stamp on the program? You mentioned Coach Williams, who had much success at Southside. Tony Travis, your AD, who had a great run as the Pea Ridge, and kind of built the program to where it is now. Got the great facilities going. What are you doing to put your stamp on the program?
Yeah, I've been fortunate enough to work and play for some incredible coaches at all different levels, and one of the things that we're doing at Pea Ridge is our flight. It starts with our family. Talk about the little details, the intensity. We want to graduate, play with hard work and toughness.
See, I couldn't do that. Too many alphabets. It's more than 3. See, that gets me right there.
Yes, sir. And that's something we truly believe in, and these guys have bought into it.
That's fantastic. Well, listen, good luck to the Blackhawks this season. This is Coach Bray Cook, head football coach, Pea Ridge Blackhawks. There you go. So I'm talking with Harbor coach Chris Wood. Coach, how do you feel going into the season?
I feel good. I mean, we've had a good summer. Done a number of team camps, some 7-on-7s. Guys have competed well all summer, tried to get better. I mean, we're not there yet, but that's why we've got August to keep preparing.
Coach, hate to keep harping on COVID-19 issues or whatever, but I know football lifer like you are, not getting to do summer, not getting to do the spring with your kids, that had to be hard to go through.
Yeah, I mean, what you do is you actually recognize the importance and the relevance and how important it is on building a team when it's taken away from you. You take everything for granted, and sometimes you wonder if you're doing too much or doing too less. But when you're building a team, those moments are really critical in the development of that team. And as you're growing younger guys, through spring ball, you get in that summer competition, building those relationships, being able to evaluate guys during the summer, I think is real critical. And then when you got a lot of turnover like we had going into last year,
right.
We really didn't get to see the guys until almost we went to Jinx. And our guys competed hard, but it's just those building blocks are critical for sustained success over years.
Well, Coach, it's something, too, I thought about with Harbor. You guys have been, when you've had your best seasons, you've had, that hammer at running back, you've had those big offensive linemen, them not getting to spend as much time in the weight room in the early going, it had to have had a little bit of effect on you guys.
Yeah, I mean, it was just, it was a unique time. I mean, when we started off with those protocols last June, I mean, we were rolling in 10 kids at a time.
Right.
We were staggering everybody through over a course of about 6 hours to just get the weight training done. So you really can't, it's hard to foster, just the unity and the execution, when they're all in there together and they're grinding together and they're sweating together. And that's valuable time
right.
in the culture and development of a team.
Right. Coach, last year, Hudson Brewer kind of burst on the scene. You knew about him, but, sophomore, not a lot of other people knew about him. But then Jack Strubing, of course, gets a lot of publicity based on, first of all, he deserves it and that kind of thing. But who are some of the other players this season that we can look for, the Wildcats?
Well, I think offensively, when you look at us, really kind of like, Peyton McKee's back. This will be a second year to start for us at receiver. Spot played as a sophomore. Ethan Fender, which was a second-team all-conference guy, he slides into the slot for us, and he's back. I think Drew McClendon, transitioning from quarterback to
right.
receiver, he's done a really nice job this spring. He's athletic. He can go get the football. His baseball background and playing outfield really carries over to the football
right.
field.
Throw it up, he'll go get it.
And he will go get it.
Yeah.
He can flat fly. And so real excited about that receiver group in there. Of course, Luke Adams back at fullback, started as a sophomore for us. And then we've had Luke Buchanan, which moved in from Fayetteville, getting the reps. And right now he's kind of got the lead to be our quarterback going into fall. So offensively, we got a number of guys, we really like in our skill positions. Offensive line, they're just going to continue to mature and grow as the year goes on. They just need reps. They need to be under fire. They need to see the stunts, see the twist game, see the physicality that's needed in there to sustain right. success. Defensively, we got Malachi Kramer back at safety. Britt Witchen, as a sophomore, started against Bryant. He's playing the other safety. Braxton Scott moves from quarterback to corner, and he's doing a heck of a job for us. Warren Hall's a 3-year starter at linebacker. Really kind of takes ownership of the whole defense. Wilmeth Lattimore, plays within the defensive line. Logan Essex, Ross Haney. I mean, there's just a number of guys that's really stepped up for us, and I think those will be names that you'll read about a little bit here and there.
Coach, let's go back to Hudson Brewer. He's a guy that's got good bloodlines, good pedigree. How does he build on what he did last year, 1,500 yards rushing, I think 16, 18 TDs. How does he build on that? How does he continue to improve?
Well, I think the first thing he did is add muscle in the offseason. Now that he's gone through the rigors of a season in the 7A West and understands the physicality and the pounding he takes, and knowing we hand the ball off quite a bit. He wanted to add muscle, and he has done that and maintained his speed. And so I think that was one of the biggest pieces he really addressed in the offseason. And so he's a stronger version of last year, still has the really dynamic speed, understands offense, really has enhanced his game in the slot at the receiver for us. So he's a guy we believe we can slide out into the slot and be a matchup there just with his length and his ability to go get the ball. And so he's a hardworking young man and, does things the right way.
That just sent chills up and down the spine of most defensive coordinators in the 7A West.
Yeah.
Well, listen, Coach, good luck, and good luck to the Wildcats this season, and you guys go get it.
All right, appreciate it.
Chris Wood, coach of the Harbor Wildcats. All right, I'm here at Northwest Arkansas Media Day today. I got Coach Joel Wells, came in from almost on the border up there at Harrison. Coach, you guys, what a great program you have built over there. You guys 11-2, 11-3 last year, something like that. Just, it seems like you guys have just continued to have great success.
Well, we've had a nice run.
You have.
We really have. I think we've won 50 in the last 5 years.
I think that's pretty good,
30,
Coach.
34 and 4, I believe, in the last 3. But last year was really a year where we graduated 24 the year before that, and so a lot of people didn't think we were going to be as good. And our kids didn't know that. Though.
They take that personal a little bit, Coach?
They took it personal, and so played some young kids, and really had a great year, and won 4 games in the last possession. So those games could have gone either way, but when you're winning games, those things happen to you.
Coach, you guys have up at Harrison, you kind of got your good facilities going on, getting good players, and building your program. 5A West. How do you see that this year? I know you guys are picked to win it, but it looks like some pretty good competition.
I think it'll be extremely difficult. It's obviously one of the best conferences in the state.
I would agree.
And it's usually, we've been fortunate the last 3 years, to not lose in that conference, and which is a huge accomplishment for us because I really respect a lot of the teams in our league, and I think Bologna is going to be really good.
Right.
They got about 35 seniors or more, and Greenbrier's got an experienced quarterback and a lot of speed back
Right.
and a good back. They're going to be extremely good as well. Clarksville's going to be better. Morrilton's Morrilton.
Great athletes.
Farmington's got a new coach.
Yep.
Pea Ridge got a new coach.
Yep.
So it's going to be. I think, in Alma, they're not going to be down forever. They're going to come and compete. So I think it's going to be a great league, and I think it'd be very difficult for anybody to run through that league undefeated.
Coach, who are some of the guys in the blue and gold we can look for this season? Have good years for you.
Well, we returned 2 All-State safeties, and Dylan Block and Beck Jones. We returned Brody Gillum at a linebacker, also kind of be a feature back for us, him and Beck Jones on that side of the ball. Logan Plumley, will be our starting quarterback, and he played some backup last year, came in and threw a couple of touchdowns against Morrilton to win one in double overtime.
Right.
So those are going to be some of the featured guys. Sloan Barrett at receiver. We've got some guys back, Jace Barden up front on our offensive line, Caden Quant in the secondary and receiver as well. So, we've got a lot of experience coming back, but we lose a lot of production off last year's team as well, so we'll have to replace that.
Coach Harrison, you don't rebuild, you just reload.
That's the plan.
Well, listen, good luck to the Goblins this year, Coach. And we're going to take a little break right here. When we come back, we're going to talk to Gravette coach Kelby Bohannon. Good luck, Coach. Go get them. Go get them, Harrison.
Thank you very much.
You bet.
855 go call Bud. Go call Bud.com. When you gotta get your heat or your AC back on. When it's cooler, when it's hotter, we condition both air and water. Generators, water heaters, we're the finest. Duct cleaners, heating, cooling, electric and plumbing. Make one call and we'll come running.
And I'm here with Coach Kelby Bohannon, the coach of the Gravette Roaring Lions, the orange and black Roaring Lions. Coach, how's your summer going so far?
We've had a pretty good summer. We're going to be really young this year, but the kids have been, pretty committed to the process and what we're trying to do, and we're looking forward to a season of growth for those guys.
Coach, you got to be happy to have been able to spend a little spring, a little summertime, maybe a little 7-on-7, things like that, unlike the year before. You feel like that puts you a little bit farther along going into the season?
Oh, most definitely. Thinking back and trying to go through the last several years, I think this will be the first spring that we've been able to go through at Gravette since like 2017.
Wow.
Coach Harrelson moving on after he stepped down, and then Coach Greenwood came on and had to deal with some health issues, which kind of complicated things. And then once I was able to step in, it was really late when I first got that job, and then COVID hit after year one, and so trying to get us caught up to speed, has been a bit of a challenge, but it's definitely been good for us.
You feel like you've kind of settled in a little bit. You're knowing the lay of the land. Especially the younger players coming up.
Yeah, most definitely. We're finally getting some kids in that we've been able to build relationships with, spend time with, and we're really proud of the junior high program and what we've done with those guys over the last couple of years, and we're looking forward to seeing that pay off in years to come.
Coach, who are some of the guys that you're going to be counting on this year?
This year, we'll have Rhett Hilger, who's likely going to be the quarterback this year. He's the younger brother of a 3-year starter who just graduated. He's moving from the X receiver spot. It's going to be new to him, but he's a good athlete, smart kid, and I think he'll be able to take whatever it is that we throw at him.
Yeah.
Sam Mayo will be anchoring the offensive line. He's our one returning starter up front. We're looking forward to what he's able to do with those guys that are surrounding him. Carl Bontrager is going to be a junior running back. He's a returning leading rusher from last season. And then we'll put back there with him a sophomore, Kyler Austin, who played the last 2 games for us as he moved up, and he contributed in a big way, especially on defense. So those are a couple of guys that I think are going to help us this next season.
Good deal. Well, listen, Coach, congratulations on moving into your second, third year. I think they're getting it going, and good luck to the Gravette Lions.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
You bet. I'm here with Bentonville coach Jody Grant. Coach, how do you feel about your team going into fall, workout, summer, whatever it is? The season's coming up pretty soon.
Yeah, so obviously we're in fall camp at this point.
Yeah.
And very excited about our group. This is a group that's this is a group of seniors that are a special group, have had a good run up to this point, and we're good in the junior high level. Very talented group with great leadership, so our expectations are real high.
Coach, 10-1 last year, another conference championship. You have to feel good about that.
Yeah, I mean, I like where we're at as a program as far as our culture is and our expectations are and all that stuff. But we need to go win this thing, and it's important to our kids and our community and our staff. And so that's easier said than done, but we're going to do everything we can to put ourselves in position to make a little successful run throughout the playoffs.
It's time to put that 7A West stamp back on that championship trophy.
Yeah, there's no doubt about it. I mean, I'm proud to be a part of the 7A West, and we've got good football with good coaching and all that stuff. But it's time for us to kind of take that thing back, and so we're hoping to make a run at it, and we got a good group to do it with.
Coach, everybody look out there and they'll see Chas Nimrod, who looks, my goodness, no better curb appeal anywhere, I don't think, in the state than him at receiver. But who are some of the other guys that you'll be counting on this year?
Yeah, well, I mean, I would argue that we have the best combination of receivers in the state, and Chas Nimrod and Cooper Smith.
Absolutely.
Both all-state receivers, and just dynamic to, with just as far as the intangibles of what it takes to be a receiver. But then we return our all-state running back in Josh Fickle.
Yes, sir.
Who'll be a junior who's
1,000-yard rusher as a sophomore.
Very, very talented, and he's put on about 15 or 20 pounds.
Coach, I saw him at 7-on-7. I didn't even recognize him. He didn't look like the same kid.
Yeah, so he looks great. And then, then we've got Drew Ryder returning. Well, he played a lot. He's not a returning starter, but he played a lot at quarterback spot. We're excited about him. All-state tight end and Luke Wright returning. And then we have a very talented sophomore, C.J. Brown, that'll open some eyes, and he's dangerous. So offensively in the skill position, I feel about as confident as we've been in a long time.
Gotcha.
Offensive line-wise, we're going to be good and be able to run the football and protect. Defensively is the only area that we only have 3 returning starters. But, each year we have guys that move in there that are just program guys, and they step up and they do a great job, so we expect nothing less. But it'll be fun to watch these guys grow and develop, especially on the defensive side.
Going back to your defense, you lost a couple of pretty good linebackers there in Stein Spring and Cole Joyce. You know, it's hard to fill those holes, but looks like maybe you're going to have some young guys coming up.
Yeah, I just don't think you can't expect to replace
Exactly.
guys like that.
Exactly.
Those were just, we were fortunate to have them, and having them together was awesome. But we've got some good, talented guys that are coming in. We've shuffled some guys around. Mason Milton started outside linebacker for us last year. He's moving to inside to replace Cole Joyce, and then we have another couple guys that are just competing for linebacker spots. So, it'll be fun to watch them develop and grow.
Coach, looking at the 7A West, Bentonville looking good at the top up there, but it's going to be a tough conference. How do you see the conference shaping up?
Well, I always think you expect to see, Harbor and Fayetteville and Bentonville West are always very competitive and do great things. I'm not saying the others won't. It's just after watching what Rogers did in 7-on-7, they seem to be very successful in 7-on-7 with a new coaching staff.
Yeah.
That always excites kids, so it wouldn't surprise me if they didn't have some success. And then, you're dealing with the same thing at Springdale, just kind of a new face, a new leadership.
Right.
And so that always usually kind of ignites programs. So, I mean, we'll see. We saw Southside in 7-on-7. They looked really good. So it's my hope that the 7A West is a conference that it's truly competitive top to bottom.
And it just makes it better for the playoffs. That
Absolutely.
You're ready for that.
We've seen where if the conference is weak, it hurts you in the playoffs.
Right.
And we've dealt with that, and we don't hide behind that. I'm not being disrespectful to any all those other coaches in 7A West would agree. And so we want the bar to be raised. We want it to be a conference that every week you're having to play your best, and that's what we're used to seeing. I think we've had a little bit of a drop-off, but my expectations are that it's going to come back to what it was.
Good deal. This has been Coach Jody Grant, Bentonville Tigers. Coach, good luck your season for the Black and Gold.
Thank you very much.
You bet. All right. Talking with Rogers Heritage football coach Steve Hookfin. Coach, going into your season here in just a couple weeks, how do you feel about your team?
Feel good. We've been working hard. We've been putting the work in the off-season, which is huge, our first off-season.
Yeah.
So to have a full off-season has paid dividends, so we're very excited about where we're headed.
Coach, hate to talk about COVID issues or whatever, but, it affected everybody. But for a guy coming in first year, not getting to spend as much time with the team, that kind of thing, how much do you feel like it kind of set you guys back a little bit?
Oh, it really did set us back. We had a new staff, new program, new schemes, so we didn't get an off-season.
Exactly.
And that's tough for any football program, let alone a new coach that's coming in trying to learn the lay of the land,
right.
Learn the conference, learn your opponents, and trying to instill new schemes. So it did set us back, but I'm glad that we're kind of back to normal at this point.
Good deal. Coach, moving forward into this season, who are some of the guys we can look for Rogers Heritage this year to have a good season for you?
Absolutely. Well, Eli Craig, he'll play some safety for us. He'll be our number one running back. Chris Nkeo is another big running back that we're going to be counting on heavily. Of course, Carter Henley's coming back at quarterback. He did a great job for us last year as a sophomore, and we're looking at him to progress even further this year, being that he understands what we're trying to get accomplished on the offensive side of the ball. John Ethan Lockett is another young man that'll play some secondary and some receiver. And Jacob Lemus is another good, outstanding athlete for us that we're expecting good things from.
Coach, putting your stamp on the program, the process, kind of walk me where you are in that process.
We're further along than we were this time last year in that process. One thing that we had to do, we had to get stronger. We had to make a commitment to that weight room.
Right.
And we did that. This is a conference with very good athletes, very good coaches, and we were just behind in the strength aspect of it.
Right.
So we think we've closed that gap a little bit. One thing that we want to be able to do is we want to run the ball. We want to shorten the game. We want to keep some of these high-powered offenses on the sideline as long as we can.
Milk that clock.
And we also want to fly to the ball on defense. So we're definitely further along in that process than we have been any time, and I think we have a good staff, and we're all on the same page as far as what we're trying to get accomplished offensive, defensively, and special teams.
Good deal. Alignment, Coach. That's what we're talking about.
Sir.
Alignment.
Absolutely.
Good deal. Listen, good luck to the War Eagles this year, and go get them.
Thank you so much.
You bet. Thanks for being on with us.
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm here with Bentonville West Coach Brian Pratt. Coach, how you feel going into summer workouts, fall? What are we calling this nowadays? Is it fall workouts?
Back to normal.
There you go. That's the best quote I've had today. Back to normal.
Well, it feels really good. Last year was tough on everyone, and especially tough on the kids.
Right.
And us as coaches trying to get them ready. And obviously, I feel like it had an effect with the season and the quality of football that people saw. And so now coming into this year and after spring ball and 7-on-7 and team camps, things like that, definitely good to get back to normal and a somewhat normal situation and try to get our kids ready for a very productive season.
Coach, I think you had a good quote in a little piece we had earlier this week in the Northwest Arkansas Democrat-Gazette that last season's team, you kind of put that in your rearview mirror. That team, like I think you said it, that team died or something like that. It's done. Of course, the season didn't end the way you would want it to, or anybody would want it to, having to give a game up because of COVID. But moving forward, do you like where your team is going into this season?
I think where we're at is where we want to be, and be hungry throughout the off season, and try to get stronger and become a better individual during that time. And then obviously when spring ball rolls around and your camps and 7-on-7, you work on being a better team. And I'm really proud of where our team is right now. I feel like our saying this year is it's not about me, and I think that's the mentality that we want our team to have.
Gotcha.
It's about our team, and it's a whole lot bigger than our individual self and stats and that kind of stuff.
Who are some of the players, though, Coach, that we can look for this year? I know you graduated some really good skill position players, and I think you graduated a quarterback that played about 97 games for you. So
he played a lot.
Yeah.
We started at the end of the year. We were starting 8 sophomores.
Wow.
And those guys again didn't have any summer help to
Yeah.
try to get ready for the season. So with those guys being back, obviously guys like Braden Jones, Ty Durham, Carson Morgan, those guys, Nick Bell, all those sophomores that have really had productive off season, as well as some of our seniors. And we've had some very productive seniors that are going into this year. Micah Pinales, one of our O-linemen, Richard Stout, another O-lineman. Both those guys are seasoned guys that come into the year. Brendan Talley is another one that is a starter from last year to come in, and then several other ones that will step up. But really proud of where our young guys are right now. Our sophomore quarterback, Jake Casehill, he's a big kid and gotten better as the time's gone on. So we'll continue to try to improve week to week and try to get ourselves ready to put ourselves in a place to be able to make a run in the playoffs.
I see you guys have a big drive-in movie theater screen there out in one end zone, the big Wolverine jumbo screen's what I call it. Yeah.
We finally, our district was we're very fortunate to have a district that tries to do the best for our kids, and for us being the only 7A school that didn't have a video board, and for us to have one.
You got you one now.
Yeah, and it's nice. It really is. And so now we just got to line it up a little bit.
There you go. Good deal. Listen, talking with Coach Brian Pratt here, Bentonville West. Go Wolverines with that claw. You get that claw thing. There we go.
A little heart.
There you go. There you go. You seen it right here. Coach, listen, good luck this season.
Thank you.
You bet. Talking with the new coach of the Farmington Cardinals, J.R. Eldridge, but you're not new to Northwest Arkansas. You're back home again.
Yes, sir. Really excited to be back up here. So thankful for the opportunity to be at Farmington High School. Just a great community, great group of players, guys that are hungry, and we're just looking forward to a great season.
Coach, you've been here since the spring, kind of got to go through spring with them in the summer. I know installing the culture is big for you.
Oh, there's no doubt about it. We want to install several things in our culture, but the main things that we want to install is, number one, we want to show up, make a positive difference in the life of our teammate. That's a big deal for us. We want something bigger than just showing up to play football, and that bigger is to make a positive difference in the life of our teammate. And the second thing, we want to compete for and win conference and state championships, and work toward that purpose every single day. So those are the two things that we really focus on as to why we show up every day. And then there's 6 principles that we kind of try to live by in our football program: respect, commitment, belief, and then VVR, which
there you go,
vicious, violent, and relentless.
Every play.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
No doubt about it.
No quitting. They're not stopping.
Yes, sir.
So, Coach, coming in to Farmington, you've won 2 state championship games in a row, played for another state championship last year at North Little Rock. Bringing that in, does it help having a Elsick at running back? That made the transition a little easier, didn't it?
Absolutely. And Caden's done a great job throughout the spring and then this summer running the football. He's going to be a really good running back for us. Returning 1,000-yard rusher.
Yes, sir.
And then offensively, we want to be able to distribute that ball We feel like we've got other guys that we can distribute that football to where Caden doesn't become the primary focus for all the other defense coordinators in the league or in the state. So I think some of the things that we'll do offensively will take a little bit of a load off of him, which will also make him better and fresher throughout the game. So I'm really excited about what he's going to provide for our offense.
Who are some of those other players, Coach?
Yeah, so Devontae Donovan, really good at wide receiver for us. We've got Chase Brown, our tight end. He's doing a great job for us. We've got Peyton Funk, Lawson DeVault. We've also got Tate Pickens, Justin Logue. I mean, some of those guys are really going to make a difference in our offense. And then, we've got another running back, Kanye Taylor, who has done a great job throughout the spring and this summer for us. So excited about just being able to distribute that football and really our guys making plays when they get a chance.
This, Coach, I believe will be the 4th year in the 5A West. It's a little bit of a growing process. You know that. You've changed classifications, whatever. It is a little bit of a baptism first, but let's say Farmington's in that 4th year. Where do you feel like you guys are in the 5A West?
Well, I don't make predictions. My biggest deal is we want to play our best football every Friday night. I mean, that's what we're looking to do, is play the best football that we can every Friday night. I've always been a guy at Arkadelphia. We played 6A teams all the time in the Northern Conference. We played tough teams, and really I want to get to a point where we want to play anybody.
Right.
And if they'll show up and we'll put the ball down, I mean, hey, we're out there to play football, and so that's really the mentality that I want our players to have. And I think that mentality makes a difference. We were in the 5A at Arkadelphia in my first year as the head coach, and I felt like the 5A league for us when we moved to the 4A, our 4A league was actually tougher. You have Malvern, Nashville, Ashdown.
Because it was, Coach.
Bogside. I mean, you've got those teams that are very, very competitive at a high level. So we want to be able to compete with anybody. I mean, that's and I felt like that mentality grew at Arkadelphia to where it didn't matter who we were playing. We're showing up to play football, and we're showing up to win. If that doesn't happen the next week, we're going to show up to win again.
Gotcha.
And so that's the mentality that I want to have.
Good deal. Talk with J.R. Elders, the new head football coach at Farmington. Listen, Coach, good luck to the Cardinals this season.
Thank you
Go get them.
Thanks for having me.
All right, I'm talking with Casey Dick, football coach at Fayetteville. Casey, this is season 3. Do you feel like going into this season, last year kind of wiped that off the face, because it was just COVID-19? I mean, how do you describe it? Is it lost, almost kind of like a lost season because you didn't get to do off-season stuff like that? Yeah. How do you feel going into this season?
Just a whole lot more, more comfortable with our guys and, what they've been able to go through, and obviously have a full spring, a full summer. Be able to compete in 7-on-7 and team camps, and really just the whole overall off season for all of our guys. And we've seen a lot of growth as far as just overall leadership from these guys. Obviously, when you look at defense and offense, there's a whole bunch of those guys that are, have had a whole bunch of experience playing since they were sophomores. Obviously, juniors, they were there last year. So it's senior led on offensive side and defensive side of the ball as well. And like I said, just a whole lot of leadership out there. That's, those guys are coaching themselves a lot of the time and just taking it to the next step.
Casey, coming in after a Darrell Patton, after a Bill Blankenship, how have you put your stamp on the program?
One of the things that we pride ourselves on is just a family atmosphere from that time that they walk in that building, from the time that they're on the practice field, and then just overall, how just the whole thing of how we're going to treat each other. That's big, today, and I think last year was a big testament to that with COVID and all of the alternate methods that not just we had to put in, but all the coaches across the state and the country had to put into place in order just to get their kids, whether it's to and from practice or get them to a game or have meetings or just, you really had to develop a relationship with those guys, and really get to know them.
Coach, I look at the roster and you guys, I don't see a lot of weakness there. You guys are, offensive side of the ball, defensive side of the ball, special teams, and you guys are, but who are some of those guys that'll be key players for you?
I think obviously when you look at it from a defensive perspective, I think when you return your whole back end, that kind of speaks volumes. You got a lot of guys back there that took pretty much every snap that we played on defense last year.
Right.
With Braylon Palmer kind of leading the way just as a guy that had started as a sophomore back there. But then you have Ryan and Jackson on the other side. And a guy that played quarterback for us at the beginning of the year that ended up playing safety over there. So he kind of brings you a unique perspective over there to all those guys. And you got a guy in the middle like Caden who's kind of getting everybody lined up and making sure they're correct and where they're supposed to be in the technique that's being played. And then we got some guys up front that can do a little bit of different things. With JJ and Will Stokenberry and Gabe Farrell and a couple other guys we can rotate in there. So like I said, a lot of experience, a lot of snaps have been played over there.
Right.
So they just look really, really comfortable. I think that's a big key for those guys this year.
And then offensively, somewhat of an embarrassment of riches for you over there.
When you look at that group, there's again a whole lot of guys that have taken a whole lot of snaps. Got a whole lot of reps over there from obviously a year to whether it was a sophomore year all the way up to Jalen and then whether it's Isaiah and Dylan and Hayes and all those guys that have kind of put their time in and now they're ready for a big senior year.
Coach, I don't know if Caden told you this. He said he's available to throw some passes for you if you need it.
He is. I think he's a guy that is going to do anything he can do to help us win. So that's positive for us. I don't know how pretty it'd be, but it may get there. But it's up for debate.
Exactly. Casey, look at 7A West. There's not an easy Friday night at all anywhere in the West. And how do you kind of see the conference shaping up?
I think it's going to be tough, just like it is every year. When you look at you look at Bentonville, you look at Harbor, you look at us, you look at West, and even. The Rogers schools and what they did last year.
Right.
I think Coach Robertson did a great job as far as going in and really doing a good job and scoring a whole lot of points offensively. So I think it'll be just like it is every year. It'll be a great league and a good night for competition. Just filled with great coaches.
Good deal. Casey Dick, head football coach, Fayetteville Bulldogs. Go Dogs!
Thanks, Chip. Appreciate
Absolutely. It. All right, I'm talking with Matt Williams, third baseman for the Arizona Diamondbacks.
Those are the old days. We moved on.
There you go. No, I'm talking with Matt Williams, football coach of the Huntsville Eagles. Coach, how you doing going into getting ready for the 2021 season?
Doing great. We've had a great summer and got started fall camp yesterday, and we're excited to go. And everybody's done a great job so far.
Coach, I guess the normalcy of getting to have a little spring with your guys and team camps and things like that has to make you feel a little bit better going into the season.
Yeah, it's been a lot better summer than last summer.
Absolutely.
Things have been felt a lot more normal. I know with things coming back around like they are with the rise in cases, you never know when things could change back again. But I think we've handled everything really well, and for the most part, we've stayed pretty healthy, and we're just looking forward to hoping things stay the way they have been.
Coach, who are some of the guys that we can look for Huntsville this year to kind of be standouts for you?
We feel like we got a lot of good skill guys. Tucker Bradley is going to be a senior. We moved him to tailback this year, and hopefully back there, him and Philip Toole. Be a couple seniors, kind of the two-headed monster back there. We got kind of different running styles, and then Colton Reynolds at receiver and free safety. Tucker will also play outside linebacker for us. Philip is pretty much an offensive guy, but he'll play a little bit outside linebacker also. We got just a couple. We're real young on the line. We got a lot of sophomores. I think we got two guys returning that have played any varsity time on offense, or any lineman period. And so one of them's Colton Davis, big guy that's going to play tackle for us, and then he'll play a little bit of defensive line, but he's going to be more of an offensive guy. Austin Collins is another returning senior. Gavin Lance is he's going to play some center, but then other than that, we've got a lot of sophomores.
Looks like you got some good depth though too, Coach. The way you're talking,
our depth is better than it has been. We feel like at the like I say, skill position. I mean, receiver wise, we feel really good.
Good deal.
Loaded. I mean, we got a new quarterback coming in, Amos Mays. He was a sophomore last year. We had a senior that played in front of him last year, so he got a lot of good experience learning from him, and he's a competitor, and we're looking forward to seeing what he can do. And then other than that, like I said, we've got tons of depth at receiver. Dylan Sieber
and he'll play outside linebacker and receiver for us, and Cole McElhaney is a guy that's got some speed, probably one of the fastest guys we got at corner and receiver. So we feel really good about our skill guys.
Good deal. Listen, Coach, good luck to the Eagles this season, and go get them.
Okay, thanks, sir.
You bet. All right, I'm talking with Coach Zach Watson, the first-year coach of the Elkins Elks. Coach, how's it feel getting this head coaching job, kind of getting it going, and what's kind of going into this season? How's your summer gone?
Well, it's great. Let me tell you, it's been a dream of mine for a long time to become a head coach, and I've been at some great places, and fortunately that gave me the opportunity to be a head coach. And it's been going great. The kids are working hard. That's what I can say about this group. They're a group of, we're a little bit young, but they've come to work every day and gotten better this summer through 7-on-7 and team camps.
Coach, taking that Greenwood pedigree with you up to Elkins, what do you kind of take from that, your time with Coach Young, I'm guessing your time with Coach Jones a little bit, and any of that influence, what you do or anything like that?
Oh, no doubt. I've been blessed to be around great head coaches. Coach Young, you mentioned, Coach Cody McNabb at Morrilton.
Right.
Coach Billy Dawson at Nashville.
Oh, there you go.
So, the pedigree is there. Obviously, those guys have taught me a lot. A little bit different things at different places. They've got their, kind of specialty. But I've taken everything that I've been taught by those guys and tried to implement it into our program at Elkins.
Who are some of the guys, Coach, we can look for this season to do well for Elkins?
We've got a great group of young talent, but a senior is Cole Blankenship. He's a 3-year starter on the offensive and defensive line, so we're looking for him to have another big season. We have a young kid in Deshaun Chairs who's going to be dynamic. He's tough in space. We'll try to get him in the ball in space. We also bought Kason Drummond. He's competing with another player for quarterback. We're looking for him to have a big year. Aiden Williams and Slate Warren, both receiver and defensive back and outside linebacker. Looking for them to have a big year as well.
Coach, how do you see the 4A1 shaping up? You got only a defending state champion there, but that's you're used to being around that. So
yes,
but how do you see
sir.
the conference?
When I was at Morrilton, Shiloh was in our league
right.
for a couple years. It's a great conference. You got Shiloh and you got Prairie Grove. Those guys are going to move up next cycle, so that they're going to be very well coached and very well prepared and tough to beat. But I think the league as a whole has gotten better. We've seen a lot of guys, a lot of other teams in 7-on-7s and in team camps, and from film from the previous year to now, they've really improved. So we're going to have our work cut out for us, but we're looking forward for the challenge.
Good deal. Coach, thanks for jumping on with us today. Again, Coach Zach Watson, first-year coach, the Elkins Elks. Go Elks!
That's right.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
We're here with Green Forest coach Greg Tibbett. Coach, thanks for coming over to Northwest Arkansas Media Day today.
Thank you so much for having us. We appreciate it.
So, Coach, kind of give me a little outlook of what to expect from the Tigers going into the 2021 season.
Last year, coming off a first-year head coach and being the COVID year, so we have a lot of expectations going forward. We're putting a new offense and changing things up. We really didn't get to do a whole lot last year. We felt like in the summer and things like that. So, we're just wanting to compete, and we feel like in one of the best conferences in Arkansas right now.
Coach, I was over at the 7-on-7 at Shiloh a few weeks ago. You guys played in that, and I had several different coaches say, the team that improved the most from game one to the end of it were you guys.
Well, I appreciate it. Yeah, we took our lumps for sure. They were Stillwater, really good team out of Oklahoma. But our kids have grown a lot this summer. Got to experience 7-on-7 for the first time, and we feel like we got a lot better over the summer and participating in that.
Coach, who are some of the players you were expecting to have good seasons for you?
We have a good group of seniors coming up. Barrett Phillips, our returning tailback, he led us in rushing last year. Expect a lot of good things out of him. Brian Soto, one of our inside linebackers, another senior. Dalton Randolph, starting left tackle. Those guys have had a really good summer. And then Freddie Juarez and Trevor Stark, two more seniors, our receivers, both leading receivers coming back.
Coach, you mentioned the 4A1, pretty tough conference, got a defending state champion in the conference. How do you see the 4A1? Who are some of the teams, other than Shiloh and Prairie Grove, who are some of the teams in that conference?
I think Elkins does a really good job over there. Those guys kind of finished third last year, but challenged Shiloh and Prairie Grove both. They got a really good football team. I know they'll have a new coach this year. I'm kind of one of those guys that may be a little bit different. I like having Shiloh in our conference. It kind of lets you know where you sit with the rest of the state. I mean, they're year in and year out going to be one of the top teams, and it kind of lets you see the bar early.
Coach, thanks for being on with us today, and listen, good luck to you guys this season.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
So I'm here with Jake Denser, the new coach over at Decatur. 8-man football, was this something that you had familiarity with, or kind of walk me through your background a little bit?
Well, like I said, I've been with 11-man my entire life. I've never played 8-man or coached it before, but football's still football, so the same principles are going to apply. We're going to try to, maximize the field and take advantage of the defense, what they give us. So it is a new thing for me, but I'm very excited.
What are some of the things maybe that caught you by surprise making, with 3 fewer players on the field?
Well, 3 fewer players, you're going to need to have faster guys because there's going to be more field to cover. Even though the field is a little bit smaller, it really opens up the opportunity for crazier formations, and there's no rules about eligible receivers. So you can start getting some linemen or traditional linemen kids the ball, and really have fun with the game.
Now, I was a guard, Coach. You're saying if I went back and played 8-man football, I'd have a chance to catch a pass maybe?
If you played for me, you would.
Wow, that is awesome. So you guys kind of have a new look stadium over there too. I know you guys had to deal with Farmington. They're new aluminum seating, press box kind of thing. So how excited are you, and how excited is the Decatur community for this?
Man, anytime you can get improvements or renovations, it brings excitement. So bringing a new stadium to the facility or to the field, it's along with a new coach first year. I can't be more thankful.
Exactly.
More thankful for the opportunity. It should generate a lot of excitement.
Coach, who are some of the players that you're looking for this season to have maybe productive years for you?
Like I said, the 4 guys I brought with me today, we have, lineman Mason, and then we have Waylon and Landon and Caden. Okay, so we've got 1 lineman and then 3 skill kids. This summer, we've had voluntary workouts and things, and those kids that have came in, they've showed a lot of improvement and a lot of promise for the upcoming year.
How are your numbers?
Our numbers right now, they'll pick up significantly once school starts, but we've had up to 14, 15 kids at practices so far.
That's for 8-man. That's a lot of.
That's more than you need. Yes,
absolutely. So 8-man's kind of catching on a little bit in the state. How excited are you to see the AAA's, recognizing that, and you guys will be playing for championships here in the near future?
Man, it's a fresh opportunity. If you think about college football, for example, you have over 100 schools trying to compete for a national title. Here, with it being a new sport, I think there's 16 teams in the league, so we got to be better than 15 teams. I like those odds a whole lot better.
Good deal. Thanks, Coach, for being on with us, and listen, good luck to the Decatur Bulldogs this year.
Appreciate it. Thank you. Thanks for having me.
So I'm here with Shiloh Christian coach Jeff Conaway, defending state champions. Coach, how do you feel about going into the season?
We're excited. We have a lot of guys returning that we're excited. They had a lot of experience last year playing, had a lot of success, and so we've kind of redefined this team as Shiloh Christian team number 33, and we're gonna find our own identity. Last year's over, and there is no carryover. So we're looking forward to finding our new identity in 2021 and seeing what this team is capable of.
Coach, how do you keep your players hungry after winning a state championship, going 14-1?
I think a lot of it depends on me. If I remain hungry and our staff remains hungry and we keep that chip on our shoulder and that edge about us, I feel like that's going to carry over to our players. And so we're finding ways to do that day after day. And I apologize to them often at times because I am over the top aggressive on that, and sometimes it can kind of wear them out. But complacency is not on our radar. We don't want it anywhere, from the weight room to the locker room to the film room to the practice field. We want to make sure we're always preparing to the best of our abilities because we're going to respect every opponent that we have. We've not arrived. This is a new team, and we've got to go earn it ourselves.
Coach, those who follow football, they've heard of Caden Henley. They know he's a University of Arkansas commit. They've heard of Eli Wisdom. Who are some of the other players you're counting on this season to have good, be productive for you?
Yeah, we've got some offensive and defensive linemen that played extremely well last year. You've got guys on the front line, Nathan Lentine, Jackson Ball, Zach Brown, who are all returners that played a lot of football last year. You got guys on the defensive line, 3 sophomores that played really well, and Hal DeJarnett, Thomas Reese.
That's my guy, Thomas Reese.
Yeah, and so there's guys at receiver, and Cooper Hutchinson and Jacob Solomon also played DBs. Ben Baker at running back and weak safety, who have really put in a lot of Friday night experience that are back. And so it does make us feel like we've got guys that are equipped. They know they've got the head knowledge, they've got the experience. We just got to go out and do it again.
Take a look at the 4A1. That's always been a really good conference. I don't think there's going to be any letdown this year. So talk about the conference as a whole.
The
thing that I feel like sticks out from our conference is it's extremely well coached. The coaches in our conference do a fantastic job year in and year out. They get their teams and their players up to play us, and a lot of times we're in battles. We were in a battle last year with Elkins,
right?
Prairie Grove, and so there's a lot of those teams that we know we're going to have to prepare well, because if we do not, they're well coached and they've got athletes just like we do, and they can beat us on any given Friday. So we're gonna have to prepare well. Our conference is going to be another one of those. I think that there's going to be some surprises, and I think that the top teams in our conference that make it out, I think they'll do well.
So, Coach, thanks for being on with us today. This is Coach Jeff Conaway, Shiloh Christian Saints. Coach, good luck to you guys this season.
Thank you, Chip.
All right, I'm Chip Souza back at Northwest Arkansas Media Day today. Got Brandon Craig with me today. Coach, Siloam Springs looks pretty good this year.
We've got some good seniors coming back. We've got some guys that are great leaders, and we're excited about going into the season and trying to turn the corner a little bit. You know, we've been really close. We just haven't made it over the hump yet, so we're really excited to try to do that this season.
Coach, talk about instilling your culture there over at Siloam Springs.
Yeah, I mean, it's really 4 cornerstones for us. Relationships. We want to build positive relationships, focus on our academics, and create competition every day in our program. And then we want to be good community stewards, and we want to go out and serve our community. So that's what we're trying to do in our program, and you know, our kids have really responded to it. And I think we've got a great culture going on.
Coach, look at the 6A West, just a cakewalk conference, right? Just an easy conference.
I don't know that there's a tougher conference. I'm sure everybody wants to claim it, but if you look at our conference, I mean, you've got Greenwood every year that they're in there battling for it. Benton, very talented football team. Lake Hamilton's been really good of late. And then Parkview jumps into the scene this year and last year, and very, very tough conference. And then the rest of us are kind of fighting an uphill battle, but we're doing everything we can to get there.
Coach, talk about some of the players you're expecting big things from this season.
Well, it starts with our quarterback, Hunter Talley. I mean, he's a returning starter from last year, all-state quarterback, great numbers last year. He's a tremendous leader, and he wants to win in the worst way, and he's just instilled that throughout our football team, that competitive desire that we're looking for. Jay Satulovich, our left tackle.
Coach, I'm glad you said his name because I can't pronounce it.
Yeah, he's committed to Air Force. He's looked at several schools. He got that offer from Air Force and a couple other places, but the Air Force fits him. He's a very disciplined kid, very tough, hardworking kid, very smart. I mean, both those guys great in the classroom as well, and just a great kid, man.
Coach, looking forward to the season. I know last year was kind of a challenge with COVID-19, that kind of thing. How nice has it been for you this season to be able to spend a spring and a summer with your kids?
Well, I think everybody feels this way. It felt like a lot because we didn't get to do anything last year, but we returned to our normal summer schedule. And, we got all of our 8 competition days in. Our kids got a full spring practice in, the full 10 days of spring practice. So we're very excited to get to do all that. And it really helps our kids and it helps our coaches to develop those kids through that process.
Coach, thanks for being on with us today. And listen, good luck to you guys. Siloam Springs Panthers ready to make some noise in the 6A West. We're going to take a break right here. We will come back. We'll be talking with Greenland coach Lee Larkin.
In 1958, Orrin Ashley Heating and Air Conditioning Service was born in a small house on North 30th Street. Honesty, top quality service, and good old-fashioned hard work were the ideas my grandpa valued, the same ideas he passed on to his children as they worked alongside him. While the generations, the location, and the logo may have changed, the ideas and values haven't. That's why, after more than 50 years, Ashley Air is still the one you want. When you need comfort, we'll be there.
AshleyAir.com.
So I'm here with Greenland coach Lee Larkin. Coach, decked out in that Greenland green today, looking sharp.
Oh, yeah. Got to represent.
Absolutely. Got the flat bill going and looking good. Coach, Greenland, 9-3 last year, had a great season. Talk about going into the 2021 season and what can we expect from the Greenland Pirates?
Well, we hope to have a good year. We've got some kids back. Our biggest problem is numbers. We're around 22 kids. Hopefully we get it up to around 30, but the kids we have are good football players, and we have a lot of kids who had a lot of experience last year. I think just getting depth, if we were to get people injured, it could be a problem.
The 3A1, Coach, never an easy game in the 3A1, but how do you see the conference as a whole?
I think Charleston Cedarville will probably pick to win it. I think we'll be somewhere close up there towards the top, and we have to go on the road to play both of them, plus some of the other games. But I think it'll be very competitive. It was very competitive last year. It always is.
J.J. Hollingsworth's getting a lot of look. He's a University of Arkansas verbal commit. Talk about some of the other players, though, that we can look for this season for Greenland.
Well, I think Caden Watts, he's played a slot and a corner for us the last couple of years, and I think he'll play a bigger role on offense than he has. He's had a really good summer and played a real good corner for us in the past. I think Max Meredith is stepping in at quarterback. He's a big physical kid, very similar to Gabe Wilson, who played the last couple of years, and maybe not quite as fast, but he's got a good arm and he's really strong. Seth Center and Tucker Metters will alternate in the backfield, and sometimes they'll both be back there, and I expect big things of them. I think, Jet Dennis rushed for 2,300 yards last year. I don't think one of them will rush for 2,300 yards, but I think maybe both of them could. I also think that Zach Holt Jr. will have a good year receiving for us, as well as a basketball recruit we got out here, Cade Goble. He's come out and has had a really good summer for us, add some speed and some good hands. So I think we have some good skill people.
Coach, one thing I know, Greenland will bring the smack every snap. I know you guys are going to punch the other team in the mouth every time. That's a given.
That's what we try to. Sometimes I'm at practice and I'm wondering how that's happening because it's not always there at practice. But when they turn the lights on, they usually do a good job.
Good deal. Coach, thanks for being on with us today, and good luck to you guys this season.
You bet. Appreciate it.
You bet. Talk with Coach Brett Hobbs. Coach, and let me say this properly. Brett Hobbs, head football coach of the Springdale Bulldogs. How does that sound?
Sounds really good. Sounds like a dream come true.
There you go. So, Coach, you've got that Red Dog blood in you. Making that transition from defensive coordinator to head coach, has it been a smooth transition so far?
I think it has been. Whenever you transition to head coach, you're focusing on the entire program rather than just one side of the football. Luckily, I was able to bring in a really good defensive coordinator that I've known for a long time that does a great job, and we've been really excited about it so far.
Coach, what's it going to take to get that your culture in the program, to get that toughness, that Springdale toughness back?
Right. I think we started that towards the end of spring football whenever we started taking over, but really emphasize that during the summer workouts. The accountability, especially with the upperclassmen and the seniors, have been really good. They're buying into what we're doing, and, hopefully we're changing that mentality to bring some of that blue-collar toughness back to Springdale.
Coach, I know you got about 5 offensive, 5 defensive starters coming back from last year.
Correct.
Who are some of the players that you're going to count on this season?
Offensively, it'll start with our quarterback, Landon Phipps, which he's actually had a couple scholarship offers, Division II for safety, but he is our returning starting quarterback. We have in the backfield Davon Sparks and Zamarian Manuel. Tajon Sparks, he's going to be a slot receiver for us. Danners Wiley, he's a returner, wide receiver. And Isaac Cooper is our main guy up front, returning starter, and has that, that old school Bulldog mentality up front. So it's nice. Defensively, what's good is we have our entire secondary back. With our corners, Davon Sparks, he was first team all-conference at corner last year, and his twin brother is going to play the other corner. Zamarian Manuel will be rotating in at corner as well. Davon and Zamarian, they play the same position offensively and defensively, so hopefully that'll be a way to get those guys on the field on both sides of the football. Eduardo Hernandez and Ricardo Gonzalez, they'll be in the back end at safety. Hopefully we'll be able to use Landon Phipps a little bit,
Try to limit his
snaps, but in crucial situations, bring him in because he's just such a great football player and athlete. And then Nick Thompson, he's a returning starter. He was our defensive end last year. We moved him to linebacker. He's a strong, physical kid, but he's really intelligent, and that's what helps having him kind of be able to make things right on the defensive side.
Coach, we know the 7A West is a cakewalk every week. There's not any good. How do you see the 7A West? We know it's tough, and there's been some talk. I've talked with a couple of some other media guys, and they think it's time for the 7A West to take back over again.
Right. Yeah, you're right. With Bryant and the 7A Central, they've been on top for a couple years now. But, yeah, 7A West, it's going to be a dogfight each and every week. I think everybody kind of compares it to the SEC
Right.
In college, and you've got to be ready to play each and every week, and that's for sure, because there is no cakewalks, and so it's tough, but we're looking forward to the challenge, and we're not going to back down, and we're going to bring our best every single week.
Coach, congratulations again on being named the head football coach. We always like it when one of our guys gets to be the head coach, and that's something we love. And listen, good luck to you guys this season, and go Red Dogs.
Thanks, sir.
You bet.
Appreciate it.
You
Go
bet.
Dogs.